lecture of losses and efficiency of three-phase induction motor. Now we are continuing with the next topic, and the topic is torque slip characteristic of three-phase induction motor. So torque, basically it is the electromagnetic torque which is developed in a induction motor. So it is a very important parameter for a motor because the torque is the quantity which basically drives the mechanical load connected. So it is very important to know how this torque varies with respect to the speed. Here in the torque slip characteristics, basically it is a torque speed characteristics because slip itself is varying with respect to the speed. When the motor starts, the rotational speed of the rotor is 0, and that's why the slip is highest, that is 1. And then onwards, as the rotor speeds up, the NR goes high or NR increases, and accordingly the slip decreases. When the rotor speed NR becomes equal to the NS, the slip becomes 0. So we will be watching how the torque behaves or how the torque varies with respect to the slip, and then accordingly we can also infer how the torque would be varying with respect to the speed on the same scale. So we are now deriving the expression of the torque, detailed expression of the torque, so that we can just see how the torque and slip, they are related to each other. So for deriving the expression of torque, we first will look at the equivalent circuit of the three-phase induction motor, and this is the equivalent circuit referred on the one side. So I have referred all the parameters on the one side so that the calculation can be made, and then it is the stator resistance, it is the stator leakage reactance, it is the resistance equivalent to the core loss of the motor, magnetizing reactance Xm, then R2 is the resistance of the rotor, and X2 is the leakage reactance of the rotor. All these parameters are referred on the per phase basis. Now since we are interested to find out the expression of torque, and the expression of torque in the last class I have already told you that the torque is basically Pg upon omega s, that is the air gap power upon omega s. This Pg is 3I2 square R2 upon s, and this is omega s, that is the rotational speed, rotational synchronous speed. So R2 is fixed, omega s is fixed, slip is a variable parameter. So we need to know the detailed expression of I2. So detailed expression of this I2 will be able to tell us how the torque is or what will be the detailed expression of the torque. So basically we are interested to find out the detailed expression of I2. Now in this circuit, I2 is current which is flowing here. So this part, that is across the terminal A and terminal B, I am reducing this circuit left to this terminal A and B by Thevenin's theorem. It is a very well-known theorem by which we can replace a complicated network by a simple one, where the network is replaced by equivalent voltage source connected in series with the equivalent impedance. So the circuit left to this A and B terminal is being replaced or reduced by the Thevenin theorem. So across A and B, left to this, it is replaced by equivalent voltage source VTH, and this is combinedly known as ZTH. So ZTH is basically RTH plus JXTH. So this is the Thevenin equivalent found across the terminal A and B, and this load branch has been kept intact, that is R2 by S and series with the X2, so that we can find out the value of current I2. In this particular circuit, if I find the expression of I2, then I2 becomes equal to VTH, this is, and then divided by the total impedance. this total impedance, that is Thevenin equivalent impedance plus the load impedance. So Thevenin equivalent impedance, R would be joined with the R and X would be joined with the X. So here the expression becomes under root of RTH plus R2 by S, that is the resistive part of the circuit, and this is the reactive part of the circuit, that is XTH plus X2. So this is XTH plus X2 ka whole square and this is under root. So this is basically the detailed expression of I2 in terms of circuit parameters or equivalent circuit parameters. So this I2 is substituted here and this becomes VTH ka square, and in the denominator the under root has been removed and this becomes whole expression multiplied by R2 by S in the numerator and 3 by omega S has been kept intact. Now in this particular expression of torque developed, 3 upon omega S into VTH ka square, it is taken as the constant K. We are here assuming that the voltage applied to the motor is constant. So when the voltage applied to the motor is constant, then in that case this whole parameter becomes constant and this becomes K into R2 by S divided by this expression. Now in this particular expression we can see the slip is in numerator and slip is in denominator. So how to plot this torque with respect to the slip when it is present in numerator and denominator both? So that's a slight tricky one, and therefore we are now drawing the torque slip characteristics. Now we are just breaking this torque slip characteristics into 3 parts. One is, or first is motoring zone, when the speed of the rotor it is less than synchronous speed and the value of slip is more than 0 and it is less than is equal to 1. The second part or second zone of the characteristic is generating zone. In this generating zone, the NR becomes more than NS, more or equal to NS, and therefore the slip becomes less than is equal to 0 or the slip becomes negative. And the third zone is braking zone. In the braking zone, the NR is opposite to NS and therefore the slip becomes more than 1. So these are the 3 zones of the characteristics. We will be discussing all 3 zones one by one and then we will be seeing how this torque varies in 3 zones. Now I am just taking the first zone, that is most important one, that is motoring zone. In the motoring zone, the rotor speed is less than synchronous speed and therefore the slip is varying between 0 and 1. Now, in this further, we are taking when slip is high. High means when NR is low. NR is low. So I am further breaking this motoring zone into 2 parts, that is slip is high and NR is low. So therefore we can say this R2 by S is much lesser than this RTH, and therefore in this particular expression I can neglect this R2 by S in the denominator, not in the numerator, it is in the denominator because it is here added with the RTH. So when it is added with the RTH, this quantity, when it is insignificant, we can just neglect this quantity, and therefore the torque expression becomes K into R2 by S divided by RTH square plus we are just assuming this to be X. So this is X square, and therefore the torque is proportional to 1 upon S. This is when slip is high and the speed is low. The torque is inversely proportional to S. That means as the slip falls, the torque increases, or vice versa. That is, as the slip increases, the torque falls. When the torque and the second part of the same characteristics in the motoring zone, the second part is when slip is low or the NR is high. So in this same, now I am saying R2 by S, it becomes significant now and it is much larger than RTH. So now this becomes dominating one and this becomes insignificant one. So how the torque changes? Let's see. TE is equal to K into R2 by S, and in the denominator I am taking that R2 by S has become the most dominant term and therefore it is kept, all others are taken out or they are just considered insignificant. So it becomes K divided by R2 by S. R2 by S and R2 by S, one is cancelled. In the denominator it is R2 by S and this becomes K into S upon R2. And here we can see the torque is proportional to S. So in the motoring zone itself, we found that there are two parts. One is when slip is high, the torque is inversely proportional to S, and when slip is low, the torque is proportional to S. So the characteristic would be changing now. Now I am drawing the characteristics for the motoring zone. You can just see all the content which is written on the blackboard. You can just note it, and I have also floated the notes on the Google Classroom. You can also refer those notes which are already floated on the Google Classroom, and you can also note all the content which is available on the whiteboard. Now is the motoring zone. Basically, we are now focusing upon the motoring zone. On the x-axis, I am just taking the rotational speed nr, and this is where nr is 0. This axis is nr is equal to 0. So when nr is 0, the slip is 1, because the value of slip is ns minus nr upon ns, that you very well knows. And when the nr is 0, it becomes 1. Then somewhere here I am taking nr is equal to ns, and therefore the slip is 0. The slip is 0 here. I am just marking one line here. Now is appearing as it is not equal to 1. It is basically slip is 1. So when slip is 1, the expression for the torque becomes K into Vth ka square into R2 by S. S becomes 1 and in the denominator it is Rth plus R2 by S. Again S is 1. So it is Rth plus R2 ka whole square, then Xth plus X2 ka whole square. Now slip is 1 here. So, and we can just see this expression is a non-zero expression. So the torque which is available at the time of starting, this torque is basically the starting torque. Again an important expression to note. And this torque, starting torque is non-zero, it is there. So starting torque of this three-phase induction motor is not zero. So when starting torque is non-zero, that means the motor is inherently self-starting. Of course, when the motor is having certain starting torque, it is inherently self-starting, and we all knows this term that the three-phase induction motor is inherently self-starting motor. Now, as the NR increases, the slip decreases. So now we are having this part when slip is high. So this is the first part. Slip is high in this particular zone and the NR is low. So NR is low, that's why the slip is inversely proportional to S. So as slip is decreasing, this axis is NR increases and the slip increases in the reverse direction. So we can say in this direction the slip is decreasing. So as the slip is decreasing, the torque will increase. So here, from here, the torque increases. Now somewhere the torque becomes maximum, and then this characteristics is dominating one, that is the torque is directly proportional to S. That means as the slip is decreasing here, the torque also decreases. And when the slip is zero, or the speed of motor becomes synchronous speed, at that time basically no current flows in the rotor circuit, and no current flows in the rotor circuit, that means no power is transferred to the rotor circuit. No power is transferred, that means torque is also zero. And that's why the induction motor cannot run at the synchronous speed by itself. By itself it cannot run at the synchronous speed, and the motor is termed as asynchronous motor because it can never run at the synchronous speed by itself. So the torque becomes zero. Somewhere the torque is maximum. We don't know where it is maximum. We would try to know later on. On the y-axis, definitely there is torque developed, that is torque E, and this torque, which is the maximum one, it is known as tau E maximum. So this is the maximum torque value, and the maximum torque exists at certain slip, and the slip is known as SM, that is slip at the maximum torque. Now this is the characteristics in the motoring zone. Now in this area where the speed is NR is more than synchronous speed, I think we can just remove the expression of starting torque because we have already dealt with. I can just mark this is the starting torque. Now in this particular zone, NR is more than this. I already told you that by itself the motor cannot cross the synchronous speed. So how it can happen? So by the external prime mover, if the motor or the rotor of this motor is connected to a prime mover, and this prime mover is forcing the motor to run at the speed which is more than synchronous speed. At that time, the speed of rotor becomes more than synchronous speed, and therefore the slip becomes less than 0. Slip is less than 0 or slip is negative. So in this expression, when the slip is negative, the torque also becomes negative, because in the denominator it is squared and the effect of slip is not there. So only the term which is present in the numerator is the effective one, and the torque is exact a replica with a negative sign till here when the slip is 2, or I can say the NR is equal to twice of NS. Sorry, slip is minus 1. Slip is minus 1, and the NR is equal to twice of NS. So at this, here the values of slips are again falling between 0 and 1. Only the thing is the sign has been changed. The sign of slip has been changed, so the torque is now in the negative direction. So, and this is called as generating zone, where the slip is again between 0 and 1, but it is less than 0 or it is negative, and the speed is more than synchronous speed. The third part of the characteristic, this is motoring zone, I have already mentioned. The third part of the characteristic is the braking zone. Braking zone is when NR is opposite to NS, and when NR is opposite to NS, the expression of slip becomes NS minus of NR upon NS, and therefore it becomes NS plus NR upon NS, and this is more than 1. It is positive and more than 1. If I substitute the value of slip more than 1 here, the pattern of this characteristic will continue to go there, and therefore it is just like this. It is falling a bit. Not constant, it is falling. And this is braking zone. So what do you mean by the braking zone? Braking zone, it is not BREAKING, it is BRAKING. That means the motor is in stopping mode. Motor will stop. So first we should know how this condition happens, because by itself the NS and NR cannot be opposite of each other. So how it happens? Basically, you all know that the revolving magnetic field is produced by the three-phase supply connected across the stator. So when the phase sequence of the three-phase supply, it is just reversed. Phase sequence is RYB usually. So if the phase sequence is reversed, at that time the direction of revolving magnetic field also gets opposite. So how it gets opposite, or how we can change the phase sequence? So for that, any two terminals of the stator winding are to be exchanged, keeping the third same. So in case we are having R, Y and B, then we can just interchange R and Y, keeping the B same, or we can take any other two terminals, interchange them and keep the third same. So by that, the phase sequence of the supply would get reversed. So when the supply phase sequence gets reversed, the direction of revolving magnetic field also gets reversed. So direction of revolving magnetic field gets reversed. What does it mean? Suppose This is the direction of magnetic field and it was the direction of rotor. So the relative speed becomes ns minus nr because both are revolving in the same direction. But now what I have done, or what has been done, this synchronously rotating magnetic field, it is just reversed. So, and how it has happened? The synchronously revolving magnetic field is reversed by changing the phase sequence of the supply. Now, the relative speed becomes ns plus nr because they are now opposite to each other, and when they are opposite to each other, the relative speed is added. So, ns plus nr divided by ns, and therefore the slip is more than 1. And slip is more than 1, the torque is decreasing. Now, as per the Lenz's law, the effect will oppose the cause. So what is the effect? Effect is the torque which is developed on the rotor. And how it will oppose the cause? By reducing the relative motion. So earlier the relative motion was ns minus nr. So nr was increasing in order to reduce the relative speed. But now the relative speed becomes ns plus nr. So in order to reduce this term, nr has to decrease because now the relative speed is ns plus nr. So when it is added, the nr has to be decreased so that the relative speed becomes less. So when this relative speed is decreasing, and for that matter the nr is also decreasing, the motor is called in braking zone because the speed of motor is reducing, or we can say the rotor is decelerating. Rotor is decelerating. So when the rotor is decelerating, it is obvious that we will say the motor is in braking zone. So therefore the third zone of the characteristics, it is known as braking zone of the characteristics. So what we have done so far, I am just summarizing. We have done the torque slip characteristics. For that matter, first we have derived the expression of torque, detailed expression of the torque in terms of equivalent circuit parameters. So we found the value of I2 in the equivalent circuit, and then we have substituted the value of I2 into the expression of torque, which is Pg by omega s. Now when the expression of I2 has been substituted in the expression of torque, we got the detailed expression of torque, and in the detailed expression of torque, the slip was present in the numerator as well as denominator. So just to see how this torque is changing with respect to the slip, we need to classify the complete characteristics into 3 zones. The 3 zones are motoring zone, generating zone and braking zone. In the motoring zone, the slip is between 0 and 1, or the rotor speed is less than synchronous speed. In the generating zone, the slip is negative, or the rotor speed is more than the synchronous speed. And in the braking zone, the slip is more than 1, and for that matter, the rotor speed, that is nr, and the synchronously revolving magnetic field, they are just rotating opposite to each other, and that's why the slip becomes ns plus nr divided by n.